a bit of something on the radio, just not to show who it is or what it is. But we're not too far from Buffelshoek Dam. Good afternoon, Johnny. That's a negative on the update. I've managed to do Central Road, Twin Dams, approaching Buffelshoek Dam, no sign of any life. Fantastic, we need a bit of assistance to look for anything. Johnny's going to come and help us. Florida. Hello, Jack. Jack was just asking about what is the largest snake that we get out here. Well, that's the African rock python, getting up to 18 feet in length. We have quite an array of snakes.
The last Giovanni goes by the direction to go was Bamba and Morty. Might be somewhere. Then it's kind of Warren at room 8.
Just getting updates from the guys.
Thanks, but maybe later, so they will come on. They will do some time. Was a relaxed one.
Alright, blowing the nose again, sorry about this. Jack is just asking what sort of size snake, well, the largest snake we get out here. That is the African rock python, Jack. 18 feet in length. It's huge. And we get quite an array of general snakes out here, of which quite a big percentage are highly dangerous. Of course, the most common being the puff adder, and then we get a number of different cobras, and we get the worm slung, which is a tree snake, and there's quite a few other different species that are not really toxic. Of course, the black mamba is one that everyone knows, the black mamba. And Jack's asking if we can do if I can do a show on snakes or a safari looking for snakes. Jack, I wish it were that easy. Snakes won't be found if they don't want to be seen. And now in winter would be virtually impossible. The fact that I found a skin yesterday morning from a recently shed vine snake or twig snake, which I confirmed it at. That was just absolute fluke and luck. But yeah, we'll have to possibly wait in summer. We often will see the tracks across the road, and then yeah, we could possibly follow up and have a look for some snakes going into summer. So there we go. And spring being their mating season might be a good time to start looking for some snake activity straight after their hibernation state. They're going to be quite hungry, they're going to want to mate, and we might get some activity, so we could do that. Thing is, a lot of people know what a basic snake looks like, so it would be and there would be only a few. You could probably do about 6 or 7 snakes that people would really recognize. And wow, I'd love to get to catch a few for you. I'm not going to catch a black mamba though. There's no ways that I'm going to catch a wild black mamba. There's just no chance. I've had to deal with black mambas in the past, and it's not something that you want to do regularly. I'll gladly pick up a puff adder with a stick. I'll pick up a cobra with a stick. I've done that before. Things like that. I'll pick up a young python, or we get a few non-dangerous snakes like the brown house snake. It's a constrictor, beautiful, very relaxed, and you see them quite often at night in the road, busy sunning themselves. Alright, we're at Buffelshoek Dam, and there's a little bit of activity with a few pied kingfishers flying around, doing some hovering. Hippos seem to be quite happy in the water, staying out of the sun, possibly just a little bit too hot for them. Just getting updates from Ephraim. Gonna go. Some of them are gonna follow up on the two on Mishu and Nduna that were around Voyatella Access earlier this morning. So we'll hear. We'll get onto Buffelshoek Cutline, and if they are around, then we might make our way there, straight there from Buffelshoek Cutline. But a very serene setting here at Buffelshoek Dam. Water looks almost good enough to swim in. Wouldn't mind pitching a tent here one night, just under this beautiful Balanites tree, and just listen to the sounds, because you'll definitely get a lot of hippo commotion as they come out of the water to feed. You might get the odd predator coming down. Would be good. Or you build a hide within the tree. Quite often areas out in sort of large wilderness in Botswana, Namibia, they have sort of a hide on stilts at dams or pans, and they will often do game counts, a 24-hour game count, to see what visits the waterhole and what impacts the waterhole has and what have you. And you take a sleeping bag and you sit up there and you just watch and you count the different species, the amount of animals coming in general, things like that. Would be nice. But for now, we'll leave Buffelshoek Dam. Not too much activity happening here. Alrighty. A lot of leaf litter that's fallen in this wind. Tamboti trees, surrounded by beautiful tamboti trees here. Look at this, they're still quite small. Still quite small. And you can see the tambotis with these very red leaves. Very beautiful autumn shades, colours. In this time of the year, I wish I was an artist and I could paint or draw or sketch or whatever it is. Try and sit in one place and try and draw something like this or paint something like this. I do not have an artistic bone in my body. I can't even draw a stick man. I can do anything that's related to machining and working on a car and stuff like that, but when it comes to playing an instrument or painting, anything like that, don't look at me. I suppose I can play the drums. I just bash the drums. If you call that playing them, bashing them. Okay, well, now that there are 3 other vehicles out helping to look for some creatures, we'll slowly make our way towards the west, which is where everyone is at the moment. The east seems to be the quiet section. The other day the east was the bustling section. So we'll head towards the west. Hi there, Steve. Steve is asking, when you go camping and you have food, isn't it dangerous because the animals will smell the food? Yes and no. Yes, from the fact that when it comes to elephant, I know there are certain reserves that you're told not to keep food in your tent, especially fruits and things like that. Citrus especially. Because elephants smell citrus and they will rip everything to get to that fruit. So yeah, I've had before, while frying a bit of venison kebabs, I had some hyena come up to the vehicle and smell, sort of put their nose up and smell this particular venison. Baboons are big ones for raiding your tent and smelling food from outside the tent, and they don't use the zip to open your tent. They will tear it open. They are strong enough that they will rip that tent apart. They will rip holes in your bag. They do not care or give a damn about where your sweets, fruits, whatever, unless you have locked them away in a hard container. So we've learned the hard way. If you do go camping, keep them either in the vehicle, and when you travel you keep it with you. If you know the area doesn't have any elephants, or if you're camping there's no major big game, still have to worry about baboons, lock it away in some hard sort of casing, and they can throw that around and nothing will happen to it. But from a perspective that your life will be threatened by a predator, not really. Most of the time it's just positive, and then an elephant now and again will come across and you just avoid confrontation. Alrighty, we're just about to get onto Buffalo cut line. We're just crossing the fire break now. Right, here we go, Buffalo cut line. Let's head to the west. Dave from the UK is just asking, when a crocodile is out on land, would it be the choice of food for a lion or a leopard? Absolutely. Because a crocodile out of the water is not nearly as dangerous as a crocodile in the water. When a crocodile is in the water, he's got the power to be able to swim, drag you down and drown you and then rip you apart. Being on land, he can move very quickly in short bursts, but certainly won't last very long. I've seen video footage of a female leopard, not even fully grown, take about a meter and a half crocodile. As long as you stay away from that mouth and those jaws, a crocodile is very different, although the tail can whip. But as soon as you get a crocodile on its back, very difficult. So absolutely, a lion or a leopard, if you came across a crocodile that wasn't too big, of course, wasn't too big, but if they come across a croc that's 5 meters long, that's going to take quite a few members of a pride to try and take, and I'm sure a leopard would stay clear of a croc that's very big, but certainly a smallish croc would absolutely be on the menu for both lion and leopard. Like a fish out of water, is not as effective a killer crocodile when he's out of the water. Get some elephant tracks crossing here. Don't know where those elephants, which way they crossed from this morning's drive. I think they were at Buffalo Dam. And if they were this close up in the north, it's possible that they headed north into Buffalo. Which means we'll have to find some more elephants or something else. Right, we'll be heading down the hill towards Gary Cutline, so we might just break up a little bit with a bit of signal. We'll come down Gary Cutline. Still, we haven't heard anything of any leopard sightings, so we'll come down Gary Cutline, make our way across Gary Dam. Alright, so we just came through that dip from on Gary Cutline. We're still on Gary Cutline heading south. We'll make our way past Gary Dam, see what sort of life is around Gary Dam. Sure, flies are incessant. Remember folks, we are coming live to you this afternoon. My name is Jared. I'll be presenting the afternoon's drive with Catherine on camera and Alex in final control. If you have any questions for us, please send them through to final control at safari.tv as we try and search for some life. We have found some life. We have some impala.
Northwest of the dam.
Looks like we have a couple members of a bachelor group.
Tell me the Nyati, they far away from the boundary. Not yet. I think they're gonna come down towards the Galapagos Dam for March. So it's very close to the boundary.
A few of the boys possibly making their way eventually towards the dam. They are heading towards Central Road Junction. They are a species of animal that don't really require water every day though, being a mixed feeder. So they don't require too much moisture. They are able to get moisture from the leaves, like browsers, kudu, giraffe, black rhino. Of course, if there is water available, they will drink it. And with all the hard work done, with all the fighting and the ratting going on, all that testosterone is now depleted through the body. No need to fight anymore. All the mating has been done. Conceiving is done. Most of the adult females will be pregnant. And hopefully by mid-November, we should start seeing the first little impala lambs. And then we will generally see quite a bit of raptor movement. So we'll see quite a bit of eagles, vultures moving around, feeding on youngsters. Predation rate goes up on youngsters. Everything seems to be very calm, very quiet. Feels like a Sunday, not quite a Monday. Certainly not a busy blue Monday, but certainly a quiet, calm Monday here in Africa. Sabi Sands and Mpumalanga, which is a province that we're in. Mpumalanga, I think, which means the place of the rising sun. If my memory serves me right. Alright, let's leave these impala rams and let's go see if the zebra or maybe some of the buffalo are back down at Gari Dam. The boys don't mind us. couple of warthogs on the other side of the Mluwati drainage here, just opposite the Jackalberry. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. That there they run off. Just got a quick glimpse of the grey bodies. That they run off. Fond memories of this large Jackalberry tree. Very, very fond memories. Always keep looking in it every time I go past, looking for, who was it in Duna, up the tree that time. Right, we're approaching Gary Dam. Let's hold thumbs, there is something here. Buffalo here. Let's see if we can go around, see them with the sun and not into the sun. Buffalo don't generally enjoy the vehicles too much, so we'll have to see. Hopefully they don't move very far. Just making our way around here on Mvubu Road. There's a little bit of a two-track that leads down to the water's edge. We'll go in through there. There we go. The Cape Buffalo.
security come here, and the city is Mova, and Johnny.
Well, they seem to be quite chill. They might actually, if they don't get up, slowly but surely earn their trust and move just to this little open patch here in front. There's some amazing light on them. So we'll just... They not seem to be too perturbed, so I'm going to try and move. Just a little bit because we've got a bit of foliage in front of us. Let's move slowly. No, don't get up on our... Wow, he is just filled with flies. Even in winter, the flies are just absolutely buzzing around these buffalo. I wish you could see it. I don't know if the camera picks up on it too much. Wow. You know, we get irritated by one or two buzzing around our head. This guy must have a million. Oh my word, you must see, Cassie, if you can focus on those horns, you just see the horns are engulfed. That's where they all are landing. Wow. Oxpeckers, of course, are loving it. Not only are they getting to feed on all these ticks, but the flies are just... They don't have to go anywhere. Food comes to them. Wow, I've never really seen it this close through binoculars. Actually seeing those horns just covered. Sure. Never seen anything like it. As long as they stay away from his eyes and his ears and his nose. And the oxpecker's right on this buffalo's eye. Oh, now going in his ear. Ooh. They're getting close on those horns.
Yeah.
The other particular buffalo lying behind him has got one or two flies. This other one is just hogging all of them. This oxpecker is quite sort of happy to be going. This buffalo's got a few lesions on the inside of his left ear there. And this is what that oxpecker is quite adamant in getting, is opening up that lesion and getting that blood directly from the lesion. Wow. Buffalo wants nothing of it. Of course, with the oxpecker keeping it open, doesn't have a chance to heal. Not good for him. So after last night in the fireside chat, and hoping that I've enlightened a few people with regards to this tuberculosis story, although these buffalo are probably carrying the disease, remember that to be able to see it is very, very difficult. Only at the very late stages can you see within the lymph glands, so underneath the legs, possible jawline, neckline. But also another one is emaciation, which in buffalo is very difficult because they're constantly eating as well. Lethargy, buffalo are always pretty much just sitting doing nothing, so very difficult there. Excessive saliva coming from the mouth. When they're chewing the cud, they certainly have a lot of saliva. We'll just sit with these buffalo for a little bit, enjoy their company, although there aren't much of company, but this is the only real big creature out and about here at the moment. And then we'll carry on, see what we can find. I'm just watching this buffalo lying down. It's quite funny. This oxpecker is sort of trying to get into his ear as well, and he's shaking his ear so much that if the oxpecker doesn't time it right, he's going to get a complete whack against the head from this ear. Can't tell you how dangerous these particular animals are without you having experienced a bit of aggression from them, because while sitting here watching them like this, they are completely serene. Looks like they're just are large big black cows. Don't be fooled. Their temperament can change in a millisecond. If he decides you're a threat, those horns on that head and that weight behind it running at you, there's not too much you can do. Let's try and move forward a bit. Hi there, Steve. Steve is just asking, how did TB get to TB get to these animals? Well, there's two ways in which, not different ways, but what happens is it generally came from cattle from outside the park. And what happened is, via sharing the same water trough or same water pond that maybe occurred within the saliva, buffalo possibly could have contracted it like that. I think it occurred in the first sign of it that the Kruger Park ever got of it, I think, was in the late 1960s to 70s. Then it disappeared for a while, and then it came back in the late 80s, when since then it's been very much sort of here, and there's been a lot of research. But it came from outside of the park, from infected cattle, and due to the saliva when drinking in the same sort of river, things like that, it just takes a few spores to be taken up by a buffalo, and that's all that matters. And because buffalo being a gregarious species, you take Gowrie Dam for instance, it takes one buffalo with TB to drink next to another one, and you've got 200 buffalo drinking with the water swirling around. From one, you could possibly have 50 in the space that could be infected in the space of a few seconds. So certainly it initially started with cattle in the it's either late 60s to early 70s, disappeared for a while, then came back in the late 80s, and it hasn't left since. And the Kruger Park is now spending up to 20 million rand a year in researching tuberculosis. It can be infectious towards humans, but extreme. I would have to go up to this buffalo and give him a big wet kiss on his mouth in order for me to really get infected by it. So certainly I won't be doing that. So there's no real cure, and how this research is going about is the Kruger will fly over, looking for large herds of buffalo, and they'll be connected to a ground crew via radio that will approach this buffalo herd and sort of dart a few females, cows, pregnant hopefully, and take them back to Skukuza, which is the main sort of veterinary center hub of the whole park. And there are a few bomas there where these buffalo are tested and eventually later on released. And if these buffalo are pregnant, will be kept until they give birth, and then these buffalo calves will be taken off before they drink from their mother and given onto a Jersey cow to drink from, so that they are not infected. Okay. Paul's asking a bit of a different question, asking if I stand on a termite mound, will I fear falling in? Bill, if you notice that the termite mound generally is a concealed sort of mound, possibly with only one major sort of chimney open, if you notice that the termite mound has got lots of holes, then I wouldn't stand on it. But if you see it's closed with just one hole on the top, then you know it's an active termite mound, and that it will probably be pretty rock hard. If we find a termite mound, I'll stand on it for you, and you'll just see how hard they are. Remember that this is it's almost become a concrete, as such that all this moisture, all this sand is being excavated from below, is mixed with saliva, so it's wet a little bit and then laid, and it gets baked in the sun, and so you can imagine how hard it does get. So it is extremely hard, that even with a hit from a hammer will you not break in to one of those. We'll see if we can go find one now before the sun fades too much, and I'll stand on the termite mound and show you. Alright, shall we leave these buffalo and let's move on, see what else we can find. Buffalo were very kind in letting us view them and not moving off. go back over the wall. Here's a bit of a termite mound. It's quite a large one. I'll climb off, I'll go stand on it, and it even looks inactive, so but it looks quite solid. So here we go. Look, that's fine. Little. There we go. I jumped my hardest, Bill, and not even a bit of dust. So they are very, very hard. Very, very hard. Of course, this is one particular genre of termite. You do get other types of termites that occur up in East Africa, that instead of just making this particular mound, they make long flutes or chimneys, and of course those are a lot softer, and those would break with just a gentle push. But these ones that just make a mound, rock hard. Neil is just inquiring if humans can get TB from the buffalo. In extreme circumstances, Neil, it's not very common at all, but humans do suffer from tuberculosis. And obviously it's a different kind, but we are able to contract tuberculosis, but it is it's like I said, I've got to go up to him and pretty much give him the wettest kiss that a man can give a buffalo. Hello, guinea fowls. Just talking in guinea fowl language. They all sort of stop and go, where's that big guinea fowl? The smell of a butylon. It's this aromatic, herbaceous plant with the little yellow leaves and flowers. They're not really, you can't really see too much, so if you can try and focus maybe on that one.
Yeah, go. Even to the end in Paradise.
Oh, lots of Inyala. Quite a large herd of Inyala crossing towards quarantine. Great. What we call this particular plant, the butylon, has a very, very aromatic smell. And this whole open area here next to or just south of the dam gets covered in it. And if you just drive over it or animals walk through it, just get this powerful aroma of the smell. Very, very beautiful smell. I think Catherine had a photo of in one of the first what is it called? The journals.
Blog.
The blog, sorry, the blog. With an impala, a few impala heads sticking out this tall bit of yellow flower. This is it. Beautiful. As the sun begins to set on another day here in the Sabi Sands. Now the sun will be setting, hopefully the boys might be moving around. Nisha and Induna, they were left around Sandy Patch area. They need to come back this way. They must come back. Steenback. 2 Steenback. A pair of Steenback. Very nice. Male's the one on the left. Female on the right. I can see this because the male possesses the sharp little horns. Female does not have any horns. I wonder if they are together to mate. Both male and female have their own territories, and the only time that they'll come together is to either mate Quite nice to see Steenback out in the open here. This is ideal habitat for them. Open grassland. They don't like the thick areas. They are exclusive, very picky grazers. They need to look for, they also often look for things like little shoots and roots that contain quite a bit of nutrient content. If you look at the size of that head and compare the size of the ear to that head, you'll notice that the ear is almost as big as their head. And this is just because of the lack of their body size and lack of potential eyesight, because they can't really see very far because everything is pretty much taller than them. Andrew, confirm, is it possible they might come down towards Buffalo Katlan, maybe towards Western Gary? Copy that. Andrew, confirm, or Ephraim, confirm how many vehicles there? Okay, copy that, thanks. Copy, thank you. Alright, let's try. Apparently there is a cheetah that is Johnny, come in. Yeah, Johnny, it's Jared here. I'm going to make my way along Gallagher shortcut towards Buffelshoek Cutdown. See if I can stand by if it makes its way down there. Copy that. I'm on quarantine at the moment, so I've still got about 5-10 minutes or so. Well, thank you. Well, it's worth a try. We have about 10-15 minutes left of sunlight, so we might as well give it a try. Maybe we get to see a cheetah. You see, the day could end with the sighting of the week. So we'll get onto Gallagher shortcut, make our way up towards Buffelshoek Cutline. And apparently the two cheetah, not one but two, are heading down Gallagher access towards the Buffelshoek sign, that big white sign with the big buffalo on it. So we'll make our way there. And maybe coming back a little bit later around this area, maybe we bump into one of the boys.
I'm out of thank you very much. Discount for this discount.
Temperature's now starting to drop. Just got this cold flush come over me now from the shade. Wow.
So you want to come back to the South Outlet? I'm going to give you no one coming out to come back again. Anybody else responding, but they just cut off now to the east of Gallagher Valley. The road if I'm coming again.
No, come back, come south.
I think you get to that on the exit side there. You know what is going to come Gallagher Valley to goes east. I'm south of that junction, that wide junction. I think I'm going to go now.
No, come south. Come on. Cheetah aren't very far from Buffelshoek Cutdown, but they've just crossed east. We might just get a glimpse.
Anyone responding yeah, what do you love? I think there's nothing to do logic to it because I know him much better. Fine. Did I get it? Fine, you can go now. But I'll check for something else.
Might have to put a bit of a jersey on as soon as we get up there and wait for this animal. Alright, so we're on Gallagher shortcut approaching Buffelshoek Cutline, where apparently these two cheetahs are slowly making their way southeast towards. It may only be a brief sighting if we do manage to see them. It's quite interesting. The type of bush that we're driving in, that's similar to up there. It's quite thick. Possible they might just move until it goes dark, and then certainly they'll lie down for the night and rest. Johnny, is it still okay if I stand by and buffle so cut like? Updated on what's happening here. You cannot view the cheetah at night. It is, I'm not going to say illegal, but it is immoral to view cheetah at night with a spotlight. Because they are diurnal creatures, they use that eyesight. They've got very poor nocturnal vision. They're daylight hunters. We start shining on them at night, they sort of become blinded and possibly be marked off by a nocturnal predator, hyena or leopard. And it's been known that it's not able to run away, although it's very fast, but it can't really see well enough to be able to try and avoid holes and rocks, sticks and things like that. Alright, we are here. So there's Gallego access, or Gallego access. So we'll stand by here. I'll just try and radio and see what's happening. Johnny? Johnny, come in. Is it okay if I stand by here at the Buffelshoek sign? I'm not going to be interfering here.
No, it's 100%. She's moving a little bit more east. So you know there's that little grass track that goes up towards Tamboti Dam, on the western side of Tamboti Dam. If they carry on going to the southeast, they'll pop up over there.
Okay, copy that. I'll move slightly east from the sign here.
Go right there by that grass twin track that's on the western side of Tamboti Dam.
Copy that. Okay, so they're heading slowly in this direction. Let's hold thumbs, folks. Let's hold thumbs. I don't know where Tamboti Dam is. Oh, there. Tambuti Dam is very close. Just sort of show you. Okay, we have just come, here's Vuyatela. We've just travelled up Galaga shortcut. We were waiting there now. Tambuti Dam is here. So we need to wait just on this little 2-track, just to the west of Tambuti Dam there. Try and keep an eye on the roads on the left here. I don't really know too much about the roads here at Buffelshoek, except the road that we need to go home every night. Tambuti Dam is just this one that you see by that gardenia. I think it's right next to Buffelshoek Cutline. Folks, just to remind you that we are coming to you live. This is Safari TV. My name is Jared. I've been presenting the afternoon drive. We have Catherine on camera and Alex in final control. We are waiting to hope that the cheetah come out onto Buffelshoek Dam in front of us. Buffelshoek Cutline, sorry. And if you have any questions for us, please send them through to final control at safari.tv. Been a bit of a slow drive today, but you know how things go. Somewhere walking just parallel with us. Hope these cheetah don't stop moving before the sun sets.
Just still moving there onto this Hunter's open area here, close to the junction of Long Pole Rift.
This one, and then another one just here. This I think is Ballinati's road. Wow, looks like it. Folks, we do require a bit of patience when it comes to seeing something like this. And of course I don't want to give up the false hopes, but we may not get to see this animal, but it is worth the try. It is always worth a try. Okay, here's the other one. This is the little and there's Tambuti Dam. Oh. So one of the gentlemen are having their drinks breaks on top of the dam over there. I don't know if he knows that the cheetah are on their way. So what we'll do is we'll probably just sit for a bit. If you have any questions, it'll be a good time for me to be able to answer the questions while we are stationary waiting for this cheetah to appear. Hopefully it does appear. Please send in those questions. I'd love to hear from you. While I look around for something to keep our interest on. We could probably just do a quick observation around us to see what prominent trees we have. Shall I test? Shall we see if you folks at home know your trees? Okay, let's do this one here. Okay. This tree in front of us, it is a multi-stemmed tree. So you see at the ground it has 3 or 4 stems coming out. It's got a very soft leaf. There's yellow flowers, and we often call it the toilet paper tree. And let's see who can come through with the first answer as to what particular tree this is. It's quite a common tree out here.
Jared, yeah, sorry, but they've just gone Lalo Steam. I think they're going to settle down here for the night, just south of Paul Kruger's Kaya. I think first thing in the morning, they'll be coming down to the south. So, yeah, I'm leaving it at an open lock.
Okay, thanks anyway. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, they're probably about another K and a half north of the, about a K north of Bubbleshoek Gary Cutline itself, so inside Bubbleshoek. If they carried on south, they would definitely pop up at Chambochi Dam, but I doubt that she looks hungry. She's hunting all the open areas.
Okay, copy that, thanks. We'll have a look in the morning. Thanks a lot, Johnny. Alright, so apparently they are, looks like they are resting now, and they probably are going to rest for the night. And apparently she is hungry. Yeah, go.
I could do with you if you can find me an English tonight, preferably Karuna. I'll water these 2 onto my mobile and bring them to you guys.
Okay, that's a deal.
Shot vet.
Lynn is saying it's some form of a mimosa. No, Lynn, but very similar in certain ways. What I'll do is, there's a smaller version here somewhere. Let me try and grab a leaf for you. Let me just grab a quick leaf and I'll bring it back and we can have a look closely for you. Alright, so here we go. I'll put it on the dash here. You can hear one of the guys coming there. I have to move out of the way. There, just put it in my little holder. There we go. Very, very soft. It's what we call a compound leaf. While I start up the vehicle. Okay. So who's saying that? Honey is saying, is it a form of acacia? Honey, no, because it says very, very soft, no thorns in it whatsoever. If we call it the toilet paper tree. Oh, how's it? Sharp. Nice. Christy's asking, is it a locust tree? Sorry, no, not a locust tree. We use it as toilet paper We also call it, we have another name for it, also call it the rain tree. The rain tree. Now that should help you out. Ah, there we go. Mark Williamson, the first one to get it right, saying it is a weeping wattle. Okay, well there we go, from Australia. Well done, Mark. It's a weeping wattle. Fantastic. They are compound leaves. This whole thing here is a leaf. And it's compound. This is known as the rachis. This is the leaf. And these are the compound leaflets. Look how tiny those are. Look how small they are. Tiny, tiny. So we use it as toilet paper. It's called the rain tree because it houses an insect called a spittle bug. They feed off the sap of the tree and they all congregate together and they form this white, frothy, foamy mass. And it almost rains this sort of pure, clean liquid. And why we call it the weeping wattle or the rain tree. So well done. So unfortunately we tried for the cheetah folks, but apparently she is lalapanzi. Lalapanzi means she's lying down. And apparently Johnny is saying if we find him a leopard, he will strap the cheetah to his bonnet and he'll come and bring the cheetah to us. So let's find the leopard. We also use the weeping wattle as a fly swatter or a swish to try and get rid of the flies around us. Works very well. The buffalo could actually, we saw earlier, could use this a bit. Sorry, go again with that, please. Okay, copy that. Did you borg that other Madonna that's there by Tabuji Dam for his pools there? Okay, copy. Alright, let's go look for something nocturnal. Not quite ready yet for the spotlight. Ellen's just asking which do we have more, the lion, leopard or cheetah, and which of those on the endangered species list. The cheetah is on the endangered species list at the moment, and the most plentiful, it's a bit of a difficult one. The most commonly seen is the leopard, but the most in number is the lion, because the lion is a sociable cat. You hardly ever see a lion on its own. It's very rare that you see a lion on its own, where leopard are solitary creatures. So more commonly seen leopard, most abundant lion, and most threatened cheetah. There we go, Ellen. All three of them used in different categories. We'll go up towards Aubrey's Road. We'll get onto Voyatella Access and we'll come down, look around Quarantine, and let's find the leopard for Johnny so that he can bring this cheetah to us. this time actually now is probably one of the most difficult times to spot anything, because the spotlight doesn't quite make out any shapes or what have you, and the eye is very difficult to pick up any shapes as well. So very, very difficult this time to figure things out. So it either must be very light or very dark. Okay, we're on Aubrey's Road. Aubrey. Come on, leopards. Might have to just stop as soon as we get onto vertical access so I can put my first jacket on for the night. Sure, not a single being on Aubrey's Road. A single animal. Right, it's time for spotlight. And we're approaching Boyatela access. About a half an hour or so left of the evening's drive. Of course, if we do come across a leopard or something that we can follow, we will extend another half an hour or so into the drive. But of course, if we're driving around and there's absolutely nothing, we'll close down the usual 6 o'clock time. Eyes up ahead, an eye, shall I say? Might be a night. It's a bush baby, or a gallego, Where is he now? There he is. He's just jumped to the tree there. I'm gonna try. It's difficult. Hold on. I don't know where he is now. Usually a moving bush will give his position away. Did you see it, Kat? No, there he is. Chung. There he's on the bottom of the tree. You see him? No, he's gone. Okay, he's just gone. Did you get him at all?
Just a movement.
Okay. That is very shy, this one. Well, a lesser bush baby. Bush baby getting from the sound that they make. They call, which sounds like a baby's crying. It's actually quite scary how unbelievable it is and how close the call is to a baby's crying. Take Zoe's road across Rebecca's road and we'll get onto Philemon's cut line. Just on the brakes. Not sure if it was one. Looks like it. Might just be a leaf, I think. Yeah. Looked like another chameleon, like we found the other morning, the other evening. Right, let's get on to Zoe's road. Beautiful sliver of the moon starting with Venus. See if you can try and get that. A waxing moon. animals, show yourselves. Last 25 minutes of drive, something's got to show. Well, we keep on trying. Coming up to Rebecca's Road Junction, take that across. Okay, Rebecca's Roads. Coming on this road in a while. Lots of branches. Believe it, folks. There's not a living thing out here that we can see. No birds, no mammals. on Philemon's cut line, and I need to put a jacket on. It is starting to get a little bit cold. Before I freeze. So I need to stop. And let me do that quickly. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, let's go across towards Chelapan. See if anything's at the water. We'll head up towards Warburg's Nest. Last 10-15 minutes of the evening. What's all this dust for? Either from a previous vehicle. There we go. I was going to say either from a previous vehicle or a large group of animals, either buffalo or elephant, can create that much dust from the road. Yay, we have a question. Yes. Alright, Dave, a question at last. Yay, thanks Dave. Dave's just asking, do rhinos make sound? Because he's never heard of them make sound. Absolutely. They make a couple of different sounds. Mostly this, funny enough, they make a bit of a growl mixed with a bit of a snort. And that generally is quite an aggressive sound that you'll hear between two males that are fighting for territory. It's quite something to see it. I know there are a few clips on YouTube. I was having a look the other day for some aggression on rhino. So if you go onto YouTube and look for, I think it's two black rhino that are fighting. And, you'll hear the sound, this Good we love. Alright, just checking trailer pad here for anything. No signs. No signs. And just carry on with Dave's question there. Dave, and then they also make this high-pitched, and I've heard it sort of between a mother and calf, and it's a very high-pitched, not quite a squeal, but almost like a moan, like that sort of high-pitched sound. So they do use sound to communicate. A growl and a squeal. Same with giraffe. You don't hear it until it's life-threatening, that particular animal. It's only dire circumstances that you'll hear the creatures really making a sound. I've heard giraffe squeal once, and that was because it had 5 lions jumping on its back. So you can understand why. Alright, so you're back with us for the last 3 or 4 minutes left of the drive. Hopefully with Patrick coming back tomorrow, he'll be on the morning drive. He can maybe bring in some new luck. Because from one thing I've noticed, whenever someone comes back after leave, that first drive back, they always get something amazing. I remember when we were here last cycle, Mark and Herman got back and they found the cheetah. When we came back, we had, what did we have? We had something awesome. Sorry? We found Mafufunyan. There we go. Found Mafufunyan, the male leopard. First time to see him. So maybe tomorrow morning, with that comeback luck, Patrick will find you something in the morning. We have tried our best We have travelled far and wide. We've waited in anticipation to no avail. And some good buffalo. Got to see some good flies on a buffalo. Some zebra, kudu. Bypassing the dam, the last remaining minute of the drive. Alrighty folks, well, we have to call it a day.